Hi, Maddie. This is a teaching on lesson 4.7. This is the last lesson in the chapter that we're going to be doing. And this lesson deals with other things that happen with the number 0 when you divide by decimals. You sent me in that question the other day that required you to bring down some zeros at the end of the problem. In this lesson, we are going to have some answers where you have to fill in some zeros. So hopefully you'll see what I mean when we walk through a few of these examples. So I have the first one up on the board. The nice thing again about math is it's consistent. So for this problem still I can't divide by a decimal, so I have to move the decimal one place to the right. And if I do that here, I have to move the decimal one place to the right. And so my problem really is 12 into 0.648 and line up my decimal. Here's where the 0 in the answer comes in, because my decimal is here. 12 does not go into 6, so there is going to be a 0 here as a space, a place value. And then I do what I always do in division. 12 doesn't go into 6, but I can look at 12 going into 64, and it will go in 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. Subtract, bring down the next number. How many times does 12 go into 48? It goes 4 times. 4 times 12 does indeed make 48, and my problem is done. So in this example, you had to provide a 0 as part of your place value when the divisor did not go into the first number. So let me give you a problem to try on your own. And then you can pause the video because I'll immediately go into this solution just like you did last time. So here's the one I'll have you try. 2.6, and we're dividing that into 0.208. So pause the video, work on that one, and then come back and get the answer. So here is the solution. Again, same thing, can't divide by a decimal, so I have to move the decimal to the right one place. I have to move the decimal to the right one place. That means I'm actually dividing by the whole number, 26, and I'm dividing into 2.08. Line up my decimals. 26 does not go into 2, and if there's anything left of the decimal, you can put a 0 there or not. Either way is fine. But once you're after the decimal, you certainly need to do that. And that's the case here. 26 does not go into 2. 26 does not go into 20, so I have to have a 0 there as a placeholder. And then I'm finally looking at, if it doesn't go into 2, it doesn't go into 20. How many times does 26 go into 208? And the answer is it goes in 8 times, because 26 times 8 is 208. So it works out evenly. So your answer is either 0.08 or just 0.08. Either one is fine. So that's the first kind of problem where you have to have a 0 as a placeholder in the answer. Let's look at a second example. And it's not going to be too much different, but we'll shorten it up. We'll already make it a whole number here just for the sake of time. And we're dividing 12 into 48.36. So there's no decimal moving that I need to do here or here. So I line up my decimal. 12 does not go into 4. Again, that's to the left, so I don't want to put a 0 up here. 12 goes into 48 4 times. Multiply back. 4 times 12 is 48. Subtract. Bring down the next number. 12 does not go into 3. So since it does not go into 3, that's where I have to have a 0 as a placeholder. Bring down the next number. 12 into 36, and 12 goes into 36 3 times. and 3 times 12 is 36, subtract, and that is my final answer. So let me have you try one, and again, you can pause the video while you work on it, because I'm going to continue straight forward into the solution. So you're dividing 35.42 by 7. So go ahead and pause the video, and I will move on into the solution. So line up your decimal. 7 doesn't go into 3, but 7 does go into 35 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract. Bring down the next number. 7 does not go into 4, so I need a 0 there. Bring down the next number. 7 does go into 42 6 times, and 6 times 7 is 42 with no remainder, so 5.06 is your answer. I'm going to have you try one more problem. I'm not going to do an example, but I'm going to have you try it, and then we'll look at the answer. So why don't you try this one, 0.19, and we're dividing it into 3.8. So I just want you to try that on your own. You may have some struggles, which is fine, but we'll go over the answer together. So you can pause the video and work on it. Okay, let's see what we did, and you'll see where zeros come into play right away. I have to move the decimal 2 places to the right to get 19. The issue is now when I move this 2 places to the right, I move 1 place, but I've still got to move another place, and since there is a blank here, I have to add in a 0. So my problem really is 380, where my new decimal moved when it moved 2 places over. So here is my problem, 19 divided into 380. So it would look like this. 19 does not go into 3. 19 does go into 38 twice. 2 times 19 is 38. Subtract, and the problem ends. There is no remainder, but I still have a blank space here before the decimal. So what do you think goes here? That's right, a 0. So I need a 0 as a placeholder there. So 19 goes into 380 20 times. And when you give your answer, on the test, you could include decimal if that is comfortable for you. But technically, in the math book, it would just show the answer as 20. So I am going to, right after this, take a picture of a worksheet from lesson 4.7 for you to do as a homework assignment. I will have some problems crossed out. So any problem crossed out in red, you do not have to do. So I think there is 27 problems, and you're going to end up doing 20. But just like last time, if any problem gives you any problems, feel free to send me an email, and we can run through a problem or two as needed. So thank you, Maddie. We look forward to seeing you soon.